Hey lovelies, it's Hungwana Boss Collective, and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to create a Twitch overlay. So, with Canva here, you will see in the corner, press create, and I already have this up here, so just click on Twitch overlay. It's 1920 by 1080. So I'm just going to move this over a little bit for you. You can see what I'm doing a little better. So there you go. There are previously ones that are made directly on Canva that other people have made, but because we are doing this from scratch, I'm not going to be using them. You can use them for ideas and inspiration. I mean, technically, if you buy the pro version, you're allowed to use them 100% as they are, but you can't claim them as like you designed them. So if you want to say you designed your own Twitch overlay, keep watching and I will show you how to do so. So I'm going to go to uploads here. So today I'm going to be showing you how to create one. I'll just use elements. I was going to use my stuff, but I'll just use elements. So just go to all the shapes here. So basically, I'm going to choose a line. So I'm going to choose this line here. I'm going to put it up here. Put it there. Put it there. Put it the same. And then I want to duplicate this line. So I want the line to... That's the nice thing about this. I also want the line to go this way. And I also want the line to go this way. So this is a basic one. We're not obviously done, but this is the start of a basic one. And you can always make it more intricate. But these basic lines and shapes, you can use them and you can, claim that you own them because anybody can make these basic shapes. They can draw them, easy peasy. So, yeah. So, for instance, let's say, I'm making one for my Hungwana Blossom one. So I can take this and I can just duplicate it 4 times. So I'm going to make them a little smaller. And obviously, if you're going to make them smaller, probably duplicate them the size you want them. So they can go in here, here, and here. So yeah, keep them the size you want them. And I was just going to find some of the designs I drew, but if you don't have already made flowers, that's what I was going to say, flowers or whatever it is that pertains to your branding, then you're going to have to just use shapes and sizes and play around. And you can also use Procreate to design these because they can come transparent too. Just make sure when you share on Canva specifically, make sure that you press transparent, and you need Pro in order to do that. So just so you know. So moving on from that, basically, if I didn't have, like I said, the stickers that are not stickers, but the flowers that I do have, this is how I would make one for myself, because it's easy peasy, and like I said, you can use it for commercial use as many times as you want and technically claim it that you designed it because you are hand making it with shapes that anyone can draw. So moving on from there, You want to make a little chat box for yourself. So you just want to have like a place where, the chat is cut off from everything else. One of my cats just moved, so that's why it jiggled a little. But yeah, you can just place that there. And then you want to have a little space where, let's say if you're a streamer who plays, cards or plays games where there's a lot going on the bottom end here, you can also have this here so that, you could have your cards here and something else here. And then you might want to even break it up further, depending on what you have going on the screen. If you're just playing a cozy game where you can see the entire screen, you might not have to break it up into as many, but it all depends what you need it for. That's why we're making this. So everybody needs different things. But for the purpose of this, I'm just going to divide it into an equal half. So as you can see, now you can have your conversation here. If you don't like having it there, you can have it on the complete opposite side. Put this more in the middle so you guys can see. So this, now I'm going to position this in the back. So you just go there. So you click on it, go to position up here, and then on this side here, I just have to move my head. Sorry about that. You can go to back end here and you can see the back end. So that's what I've been pressing. So I'll put this back into mainframe. Okay, just make sure you click on it, go position, and then backward. So there we go. And then what I would do is I would take this and I would go to transparency and just, depends on how transparent you want it to be. Like I said, this is a pretty simple design, and it really depends on what you yourself are looking for. Like I said, you can create elements, you can create graphics on AI, but if you're really not into creating graphics on AI, like I'll show you. So cherry blossom graphic. So I'm just gonna do pink cherry blossom. And if you pay for Pro, you get about 500 clicks of the button for the medium. For images, graphics, and videos, you get 500 altogether. So you can see it will generate 4 different cherry blossom designs, and depending on what your needs are. So I'm going to choose this one. So you can see it's beautiful, and because it was generated with AI, it's technically completely commercial to you. Like you now are able to use that legally and claim it as your design because you made it with AI, with the help of AI. So you can use it for everything. So yeah, you can flip this. Depends all what you. It also depends also how much you like the design to interfere with your image, like your video, whatever you're doing. You can make it mini, could you not? Shakes his head and shakes the whole video. Sorry about that. But yeah, it depends how you like things to look. So, like I said, it is up to you to decide. And you can also, if you like 2 of the same graphics, like if you like more than one of them, you can play around and because the one you make for yourself will be dedicated to whatever you're doing, whether it's flowers or whether it's, something more intentional to what you're doing specifically. So if we go back to shapes and like, let's say you want to specifically have your webcam a specific shape, well, you could take this. So let's say you wanted this to be the shape of your webcam. What you do is you make it white and you add a border, okay? So I am going to go back. So you take this. I'm going to go down a little bit here. Go there and you make this. You click on this and you make it white. So you make the color white. Then you go and you create a border, however big you want, like the thickness of the border to be. And then that's your overlay. So you decide, okay, is this where my head is going to be? Then that's where I'm going to be. So you can also create these individually, like it can be included in the overlay or not included in the overlay, depending on what you want. And feel free to like change these colors. Like, you don't have to keep this a gross black color. Like, and black isn't gross, but I just mean like plain. I mean, it's super plain. I don't want it to be, if you don't want it to be like, I think black and white sometimes can be really dull. I like the black and white setup. But I'm talking about like when it comes to overlays. So just mix and match colors and don't be afraid to test out different things. Even your overlay, you can have this, blue or whatever it is to match. Don't be afraid to test out different colors. And cool thing is too is you can animate anything here. So if you want it to so if you want it to constantly rotate, you can have it just constantly rotating. You can have it pulsating, flickering. Some of these things can be pretty distracting depending on what it is that you're having. Maybe you just wanted to have it pop once. Then you can do that too. So this is the overlay I created. I know it's not like out of this world, crazy fancy, but you can see that you can generate anything you want. If you are fine with using elements within here, so you can just, like for instance, cherry, if you just type in cherry blossom, you can see that there is a ton of designs in Canva that do have cherry blossoms. And as long as you aren't just like for instance, like if I took this and I made this into, so let's go here. I want a new page. Yeah. So if I took this and I wrote on it and I used this as panels, I can't claim that I designed it. And Canva doesn't really like when you just have like, when you are taking a design directly from it and using it without doing any editing. So like without adding words or without adding, like let's say you took this, which is another design, and you added it. This might look dumb to you, okay? But this isn't the point. The point isn't that it looks not very good. The point is that at least you took some sort of creative initiative to make this look different than just the original one design that it was. And it makes it less likely that other people will copy your exact design. So a lot of people are like, well, if you didn't make the designs, you didn't create them. Well, there's a difference between creating the graphic and creating a graphic within a graphic. Like, for instance, if I take this, and this, and I make a graphic with them that's different than the graphic itself, I still technically made the new design. I just didn't create the original graphics, if you know what I'm saying. So there's a big difference between, say, like let's say I delete these two and I say take credit for this. Like, I drew this myself. No, that is wrong because I didn't do anything to change this. And number two, I didn't have any, like, I didn't make this at all. Whereas this design up here, yes, I used AI for these, but everything else, I 100% generated from my own brain and put it on here. So I created this design from scratch. And even though I did use AI to help me make this, no one else created that. I did. I created it with my words. And so, like, it's, AI art can be complicated, but one thing I do know for sure is that as long as you're creating something by hand and, like, you're allowed to say that this, what I've made right here, I've created myself. Whereas I can't just take a flower from the graphic design elements here and say, I made this, and take this and sell it, or take this and use this and call it my own. Because it's not mine. It's, I haven't even done any work to make this into a design that's my own. And that is, connected to my brand. I hope that was helpful. I hope that helped you guys understand a little bit more. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.